Testing, yes. Well, hello, I'm so glad to be here. I'm Vivian Carter. I'm from Hazard Independent. This is Courtney DeRossett. She is from Floyd County. And this is Cassie Steele, and she's from Hazard Independent. So we kind of have a collaborative project. We're part of the Appalachian Leadership Laboratory. And I actually think Courtney felt sorry for us because we were kind of a lonesome little group there. We didn't have a full team. So we decided what would be better than to put a very small independent school district and collaborate with a very large district. And so we came up with, I'd like to take credit, but actually Courtney came up with HazardInd. Get it? Hazard? Floyd? HazardInd? So, of course, as a teacher, as an administrator, as a student, engagement is so very, very important. If our students are engaged, are they learning? How many of you have ever heard of Breakout and all the things that are going around the nation and they get locked into rooms? Have you heard of that before? This is the coolest thing. And just wait till the end and all those people that left don't get the secret that we have for you all. So we have a box. But anyway, we'll get started. Our problem of practice was, does student engagement, students are not engaged. So are they learning the content? Do I sound as weird as I sound to myself? Do I need to pull it? Do I sound okay? Okay. So, in other words, sit and get's not getting it. I mean, really, you walk into so many traditional classrooms, you see the rows of desks. You see almost like a cemetery. You see the teacher in front. It's called the cemetery effect. It really is a term. But you see the teacher in front and the kids are like glazed over. Bueller. And it's exactly that point. So what we decided to do was to find out if indeed gamification, if Breakout EDU would increase student engagement, and if it increased student engagement, would it increase student comprehension, student cognition? Why should we do this? Why should we do Breakout? Well, I've got a whole group of little boys and girls over there that are going to tell us why, right? Because they have participated in Breakout EDU. But the reasons, because it addresses all the 21st century skills. I mean, we're talking collaboration, teamwork, perseverance, problem solving, critical thinking. You have to apply the content that you know. It also is from kindergarten all the way through adults, right? And you're going to find that out in just a minute. But the most important reason of all, it is fun. And I think that you're going to hear this from our students in just a few minutes. But, Courtney?
Sure. How do you participate or be involved with Breakout EDU? First of all, you don't have to purchase this kit, but I will tell you that it's pretty cool to purchase the kit. You can make your own with Lowe's with some boxes and some locks and all that fun stuff. It takes about $65 to $70 to do it yourself, or you can call Breakout EDU and get online. The website's there. Everything's on our PowerPoint and is on the holler, all the resources. This is the box. When you get it in the mail, which we were very excited about, you get different box, you get several different locks, and the locks have different letters, different numbers. You have a blacklight pin, you have a blacklight. All of these things can be used within your activity that you set up. Now, how does this relate to content? All the lessons that you use within the Breakout box are already created if you want to use them, or you can use your own. And you simply put clues throughout your content. So students, as they learn the content or want to research the content, they have to figure out the next clue by opening up the different various locks. There are also feedback cards that come in the box that teachers can use and not have to worry about coming up with their own. It's very efficient with everything in it. It's $125. That includes the shipping. And this gets you out of the sitting mode because you have to be active. You have to set the room. It does involve planning, but once it's planning, as a teacher, you step back and you become the facilitator. You can click the next. How we kind of started it in our district was, it's really nice to talk to teachers, but how you win over this, we trained our principals. We had a principals meeting and we set up a next-gen science standard unit going over physical and chemical changes, and they did a science experiment within the box. And the principals had to do it, and we had two boxes and they were competing against the clock, against each other. The amount of engagement and how proud this group was for winning was pretty impressive. And those were my principals, and they were that excited. So guess what? They went and they asked to borrow the box. They did the same activity with their teachers. They took pictures and videoed their teachers and how engaged they were in this activity and said, do you want your students being this engaged? Do you want your students being this focused on a lesson? And they all said yes. So now we've gone from the 3 boxes that we purchased within the project to I had one principal purchase up to 10, and every principal has at least purchased more to support their staff, which is pretty impressive how it's spread down.
So, the proof is in the data, and it's also in the results and the comments that you hear. These are just a few of the comments that we had. My favorite probably is, I feel smart. I went to, at the middle school, we had Cassie did a language arts breakout, and then Ashley Haynes in the back there, she did math equations. What was it? Expressions, right. But they were so engaged. You're going to see the pictures in just a minute. But when a student says, I feel so smart, when they are the ones that figure out how to get that next clue. Collaboration, it's not always one person that's doing it. It's not just usually, it's not always the top student. It's everybody working together. And that is how we are preparing our children for the future. If we can't collaborate and we can't teamwork and we can't have perseverance and we don't have that dig in, that grit, are we going to be successful? Well, this is just a fun way to teach some of those concepts, because you say to me, how do you teach grit? How do you teach perseverance? You don't have to teach it if you give students an opportunity. It's amazing what students can do. But what we did with the results, the data too, with the comprehension, the student achievement, there was a 35% increase in content knowledge after this one activity. That is incredible. I have a few of the statistics here. For instance, in Ms. Haynes' class, a pre-assessment was 45% of the equations that they were working. The expressions went to 82% post. That's really unbelievable. In Ms. Steele's class, novice, she did hers with the K-Prep with the ThinkLink Discovery Ed. Her novice reduced 4%. Her apprentice was reduced 12%. Proficient increased from 25% to 38%. The proof's there. What do we want? We are so worried with testing and assessments that we forget that students remember things when they're having fun. There is retention when you're having fun. So, administrators, teachers, we all worry so much about the K-Prep and about our assessment scores and how are we going to do. This is a fabulous way to make sure that your students are engaged and having a good time. So, engagement. We have some of these students you might see right over there. They're looking to see, am I there, am I there? Inquiry, how's it going to work out? Problem solving, can we figure this out? What are we going to do to make sure that we get the next clue so we can unlock this box? Competition, we purchased at the middle school, we purchased 4 boxes. We had 2 boxes in each classroom. And so they had like 2 teams and they were competing against each other and also the clock. And then in the trenches. Well, I had a few students over here that wanted to talk to you about this. One said, do you guarantee I will have some talk time? So, Sawyer, I guarantee you're going to get a little time on your own, and then we'll hear from the teachers also. Come on. Who wants to go first? Yeah. So tell us how you feel about it.
Okay. I actually loved Breakout, and it was one of the best experiences in school that I've ever had.
Come on, there's your talk to us.
I enjoyed Breakout because every one of us got to work as a team towards a goal, and I enjoyed it because it was a fun, interactive way to learn.
When we did Breakout, it taught us to work together as a team and go for a goal and then try to win and still learn.
I like Breakout because there was more competition and it made you work harder and think harder. And I wasn't sticking at this.
Oh, now, you didn't hear that. You got to hear this because Tara would love that. And you weren't sitting at a desk, he said. So, Ashley, do you have anything to say? And I'm going to get Cassie too. Or Miss Haynes, excuse me. Yes. Cassie.
I'm like them. Every student was engaged in the collaboration and the teamwork, and like they didn't pick their own team, so they were with people that they may not have picked, but there were no cliques or anything like that. Everyone worked together, and it also had a way of showing who had what strength. And people became the go-to person for that certain skill. And you could just see like a light bulb go off when they would solve a lock, and they were learning and they didn't even realize that they were learning because they were having so much fun. So.
Anybody else? Questions? Any questions? Oh, we have a surprise for you. Come on, guys. If you're interested, if you will look on that card, you're going to love us. We just gave you a wonderful tool, a wonderful resource for you to use when you go back to your schools and districts. Okay? Questions? All right. Thank you very much. Are you happy?